hope I look put together enough. 5 hours of sleep, nursing baby. It's gonna be okay. I can do this. The rings under the eyes, guys. Oh. Okay. It's gonna be okay. Hello. Are you exhausted? I'm here with you today, very tired. And I'm so happy to share this with you because I understand you. And I think that we're in good company. Hey guys, welcome back to the Abundant Family Homestead. I am Mary, and today I am here to talk to you about being very tired and maybe being exhausted. This is my 12th baby. I run a full-time home here and I homeschool my children. I provide all their meals. We cook from scratch. We do just about everything here. Laundry is a daily chore we get to do twice a day. Tell me if any of you can relate to this, okay? We have a very busy household. As you can see, my youngest is only a few weeks old and I haven't quite adjusted yet, and it's gonna be okay. But I am still here to tell you there is hope if you are an exhausted mom. So stay tuned till the very end. I've got 10 tips for you today, and I'm hoping that they really can help you out on your journey. So first, we're going to go through like 5 things that I think would help you guys just health-wise, and then the second half, the other 5, we're going to do lifestyle changes that need to be made. For any of you who are just waking up and it's morning time, good morning. And for all of you that are dragged through your day and you're finally here on this channel, welcome. So today I want to talk to you about 10 things that I do when I'm as tired as I am. Last night I think I got like 5 hours of sleep, interrupted sleep. You know, went to bed serving kids, woke up serving children, and I'm so grateful to have my job as a mom. But I know that I need to be easier on myself, and you do too. So let's get started. 10 things that can help you guys today to feel better about your day, feel better about what you're doing, maybe even be productive. All right, so number 1, keep a flexible schedule. Guys, we can have so many things to do in a day. You want to try to make a nice schedule for yourself, something that you can stick to every day. You know, just basic. Keep the basic schedule. Add in the things that are extra for today, and then be flexible, okay? Some things are less flexible than others. You might have appointments. You can't be really very flexible with showing up an hour late. Make those your priority. But for the rest of the things you need to do, just cut yourself some room, okay? Cut yourself some slack. Make sure that if you're 5 minutes over, if you're 10 minutes over on your schedule, you should be fine with that. It'll be okay. I'm there with you today, okay? So number 2 would be get some sunshine in the morning. This is a hard one, especially considering right now it's February, guys. It's pretty miserable here in Ohio. We've got cloud cover. We haven't seen the sun in a few days. It's cold and it's muddy outside. I don't really want to go outside, but really important for us to make sure we get our sunshine in the morning because we need the melatonin that our bodies will produce as long as we get that sunshine. Melatonin would help us to sleep better at night, to detox better, and we need that as moms. Also, it will help us with our vitamin D levels. Vitamin D is super important. I'm sure you guys have heard. Vitamin D will help us to not feel down about things. It'll also help us to absorb other nutrients that we really need. We, in our home, some of us have really bad cabin fever, okay? And we have the weather impacting us a little bit too, so we don't feel the greatest during the winter unless we're on a good vitamin D supplement. And yes, I do take a vitamin D supplement. I do not rely wholeheartedly on the sun for that here in Ohio. I hope you guys are fortunate enough to live somewhere where you've got sunshine all day, every day, throughout the winter. Okay, so the number three. Number three is to hydrate. It's very easy to forget to hydrate. However, really, really important. You guys need to hydrate and add electrolytes to your water. You can order electrolytes on Amazon or a health food store. But for me, I like to add some Soleil to my water. So Soleil is a very fun name for salt water. I use Himalayan salt, and I add several tablespoons into a quart-sized jar, and then I mix it up and I let it sit there for a little bit so that it absorbs and dissolves a little bit better. And then I take a little teaspoon of that and put it in my water for the day. And that does help energy levels, believe it or not. The next thing that we are going to talk about, I think we're on number 4 now, is to start dinner early. Now, yes, we're low on energy. Why are you asking me to start dinner early if I'm this tired is probably what you're asking. But the reason why is because if we front load our work and we're able to get things done a little bit earlier in the day, by evening time, we may be dragging really bad and not able to think about making dinner around that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock hour. So if you started earlier in the day, you guys will be looking forward to your dinner on time. You won't have to try to figure out what's not frozen that I can make. We make all of our meals from scratch here at our home. So sometimes if I forget this step earlier in the day, I'll be running around like, what am I going to make for dinner? And it usually comes down to something that, like ground beef, something that cooks up quickly. And that's a little bit harder for us. I'd rather have it done earlier in the day and make sure we're doing different meals every day, things that would be nutritious for our family. And that really helps, just pushing that earlier. The next thing I want to tell you is that I drag very badly in the afternoons. Raise your hand if you're like me. By 2 o'clock, I'm tired. I'm on a chair, usually just sitting there, taking care of my littles, and I don't want to get up. But I know that if I am able to make a smoothie, then my body will pick up again. So I always, in the afternoon, I will set a smoothie and I'll make that for myself, and that's my pick-me-up. I used to rely very heavily on coffee, but I don't do that as much anymore. And the reason why is that it spikes your cortisol levels and it does bring you up for a little while, and then in the afternoon, you're gonna come crashing back down. So much healthier to try a smoothie. I do balance that out with protein when I have my smoothie so that it doesn't spike my insulin and I don't come crashing back down. So a healthy snack with that would be a very good idea. So, another thing with these healthy things that we're talking about are herbs. I rely a lot on herbs. I love herbs. I grow them in my garden. My children help me harvest them when they're ready, and we keep a lot of them through the year, and they help me even through the winter. We will dry them and save them for teas, or I will even dry them and powder them and then make them into capsules, and we'll take the capsules. Some herbs that will help you are nutritives. Nutritives will help you to have a boost nutritionally. So some of my favorites are oat straw, nettles, raspberry leaf, alfalfa. Those are all really excellent nutritives. I add those sometimes to my smoothie, and that really does help me. That's how I get my vitamins. I don't like taking synthetic vitamins that you can buy. Another group of herbs that you may be interested in would be adaptogens. Adaptogens are herbs that help you when you are undergoing stress. I'm not saying that this is an emotional component. It may be for you. Sometimes it is for me, absolutely. But adaptogens help you under stress, even physical stress. So some of those would be like ginseng and rhodiola, and ashwagandha would be some good ones. My favorite there would probably be the ashwagandha. I think we use that in our family more times than not. I give it to some of my teenagers when they're going through finals and things like that. My preteens, sometimes I'll give them some ashwagandha because that really helps them to dial down just a little bit. It calms those nerves right down. So that's really helpful. Now, before we go on, I'd like to ask you a favor. Please like and subscribe to our channel so that you can see all of our future videos, and maybe you can share it with your friends if you find any of this interesting or helpful. So next is the next 5 are going to be lifestyle things that you can do to help yourself get through the day, but they're not, it's not food based, it's not supplement based. So the next one would be get dressed fully. You guys want to make sure you're up out of bed, you get ready like you're going out, because that mindset shift will happen as long as you get dressed, and even put shoes on. Like, that's a basic thing. And it sounds really funny, but some people, they'll put their slippers on or they'll just wear socks, and that doesn't set the tone for you to go and work hard or to be productive, which is our goal. Even when we're tired and we want to take that break, as long as you're getting up and you're getting dressed and you feel human, you'll be able to just get the basic things done in a day. So I really highly advise you to get dressed. The next will be make one big goal. Okay, this is daily. So you make one big goal a day and you try to make that in the morning. Try to get it done earlier in the day. So like for me, what that would look like is I might have some painting to do in my house because my kids are hard on paint. So I would say, all right, today my big goal is to touch up paint in the living room and try to get rid of all the little scribbles everywhere and fix the walls. So I would do that earlier in the day. As soon as I eat my breakfast, as soon as I'm up and dressed, I get that vitamin D because I went outside. I'll come back in, I'll set the kids doing their schooling, and I will take the can of paint out and I'll get going on the project, because that's important for me to feel like I accomplished something bigger today that stuck. Okay, I don't want to go to bed at night thinking I did all these things and nothing to show for it. And for me, it's very important for me to have a place in my home that looks homey, that looks well put together. And that's hard when you have so many little children, but it is possible. So set your goal to be one big thing that you can accomplish earlier in your day, and then just stick to basics, because the basics you can't do without, right? Like, you need breakfast, lunch, and dinner. You need to make sure that you're ready for the next day if you go to work. And if you don't, we'll talk about that in a few minutes, just making sure that the next day you're set for. So the next would be create a reward for yourself for the end of the day. For me, what that looks like is that I will sit and have a cup of tea, and I might do some scrolling on my phone and some research and make sure that I'm ready for the next day, especially mentally. Just that I had some kind of a break in there so that I feel like I'm not going crazy, because I won't, of course, but I don't want to have any emotional frustration that I didn't get a break. And that is a big thing for us right now, is just making sure that we are mentally capable, we're healthy enough to be ready for the next day. Okay, so whatever that looks like for you, that could be a special treat at the end of the day. It can be talking with your best friend. It could be the same as me. It could be just a little bit of research time on your phone and making sure that you've gotten some things done that you really wanted to do. It could even be just reading a book. That would be great. The next thing would be to power through 10 minutes of work. Sometimes when I'm talking to my family, some of them will be like, I'm so tired, I don't want to do anything. And often if I just tell them, you just have to do 10 minutes of work today. Don't look at everything that has to be done. Don't look at the whole picture, because that is much too much for us in one day or for one sitting. But if I tell them just 10 minutes, just 10, you'll be okay. Like, just something small, pick something small and get going, and then maybe we'll see how it goes. And oftentimes I'll talk to those people later in the day and they'll be like, yeah, I did my 10 minutes. And I said, well, how did it go? And they're like, oh, I got the dishes done. And then I felt like I got more energy, so I just kept going, and the whole kitchen's done. And I moved on to another room. before I needed another break. And that really helps them. And it helps me too. If I'm really tired, that will be my goal, is just 10 minutes of work. Get up on your feet, get moving for 10, see how you feel. And if you need to sit back down, understandable. And if you get that burst of energy that I hope that you're going to get, come back and let me know. Tell me what you accomplished today. The last one would be to prepare for a successful tomorrow. So this might look like making sure that you have things ready for the next day as far as lunches, making sure that you get in bed at a good hour, because it's going to help you to be less exhausted tomorrow. That's a really important thing. For me, and I'll keep going back to what I experience very frequently, it's getting the kids to bed at a decent hour and making sure that the coffee maker is set for the next day. Often I'll rely on my adult children or my husband to do that so that they can get going and have a good day and they don't come back dragging and they had one of the most important things to them, which is coffee. So that is one of the biggest things for them, is just making sure that they are set for the day too. And as a bonus, I wanted to tell you that we are going to be making more of these videos. I hope that you find them helpful. I would like to know from you what you would like me to focus on with my videos. If you have any ideas, or maybe you can think of some things that I didn't that might help me. And I would love to hear those ideas. So if you can, leave them in the comments below and we'll talk about those in the upcoming videos. Thanks, guys. Take care.